Grey Worm has got to be one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones. He's loyal to his queen, not afraid of anything, has patience I only wish I could have, half awkward alligator. Oh, and he has a cannon for an arm. Okay, so a lot just happened in a short amount of time. His spear flew from his hands so fast that it was able to penetrate through armor, a body, armor again, and then embed itself into a wooden door behind the Lannister guy. Luckily, we have just enough information to math this out. To find out how fast the spear has to be going, we need to look at projectile ballistics physics. For these calculations, I'm going to assume low speed penetration models to find the absolute lowest speed needed to stick this dude. This means we either have to assume our target deforms but not our projectile, or our projectile deforms but not our target. Since the Lannister guy is literally getting skewered and the spear is still sharp enough to pierce the wood, we'll assume the latter. The equation to find distance penetrated by a projectile is this, where m is the mass of the projectile, v is the velocity, a is the cross-sectional area, and y is the target yield strength. Not only are these velocities to penetrate x centimeters, they are also the velocities lost after penetrating x centimeters, since this equation is derived from Newton's conservation laws. So it's simple, we find all the velocities and add them up. I don't want to bore you too much, so pause the video here to see the constants I will be using. Plug and chug away, and we get 41.5 meters per second to fly through the armor the first time, 112.5 for the dude, another 41.5 for the armor again, and 130 for the wood, giving us a total of 325 and change meters per second. That's almost 780 miles per hour. That's like 8 Barry Bonds pitching. Did Barry Bonds pitch? Cheater? Who cares about baseball? But it's actually a lot faster than this. I intentionally left out one crucial part that more than doubles this speed. You know, for suspense. Initially, I thought the energy to knock someone back a meter would have been pretty negligible. But then I thought about it, then thought some more, then threw up a bit because it gets out of hand really quick. So remember that spear has to be going a minimum velocity to penetrate the wood. That velocity we found to be 130 meters per second. The Lano bro, however, starts at rest. So if we do a simple one-dimensional equation of motion, we find that he would have to accelerate at 8,452 meters per second. That's a lot. Like 861.5 times Earth's gravity lot. He would have died by this alone, Grey Worm. But the energy to move an 83.6 kilogram guy and 2 kilogram spear 1 meter at 8,452 meters per second would be more than 720,000 joules. In order for a spear to impart this much energy, it would have to be leaving this poor soul's body at 850 meters per second. But we have to add the previous velocities, and this comes out to 1,176 meters per second. Otherwise known as 2,630.5 miles per hour, otherwise known as Mach 3.4. What the Grey Worm? Not even Randy Johnson can throw that hard. Wormy is like the son my dad never had. Instead, he just got this weird recluse with a degree in physics who spends his time yelling at space wizards and dragons on his computer screen. I need a whiskey. In fact, if you do the same maths as before, but with a baseball's mass of 0.15 kilograms, 0.004 square meter cross-section, but with Mach 3.4 speed, the baseball would embed itself almost a foot into your body. Now this brings to mind the only important question. If we calculate just pure energy it takes to shoot a 5.5 kilogram cannonball at 300 meters per second, which is about the average speed of mass, we get a whopping 247.5 kilojoules imparted on that cannonball. Grey Worm throws a lighter spear at almost 4 times the speed, giving it a total of 1.4 gigajoules. That is 5.5 times more energy, all without the pillar and stones. F you, patriarchy. Grey Worm, what is your regimen? You fought a whole battle before having the energy to still do this. You are literally a god.